Good morning. I am Dustin Svendsen, coming to you from the valuation basement. I'm representing the Wisconsin chapter of the Appraisal Institute, and I am here with special guest Jason. Oh, I messed up your name already again, so I'm not even going to try to say it. Jason, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your appraisal journey.
Yeah, it's Tillema, Jason
Tillema.
Tillema.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I graduated from Indiana University back in May of 1997. Uh, Coming up on 30 years. But then as soon as I graduated, I had several job offers. They were primarily in sales, and I knew I didn't want to do sales. And so mom and dad were both appraisers at the time, and they were both extremely busy. And my dad talked me into becoming an appraiser. And so I took all the coursework that summer. I got my trainee's license in fall of 97. And I thought, I'm just going to do this for a few years till I find something I really enjoy. Turns out I love it. And so I've been at it now for 27 years. My dad has been at it since 77 or 78, and he began teaching in 1984. And so he became an instructor in 84. I took a lot of my classes through him. I've learned a lot from him in terms of appraising and instructing. And back in 2014, I became an Appraisal Institute approved instructor, and that really has kind of set me down the path of doing what I'm doing now.
Love it. Very similar path, 20 years in the industry, following second generation. I also got the opportunity to take your USPAP class kind of end of last year, and you made USPAP very interesting to me. So I can only imagine what you can do with supporting adjustments, Jason. Jason, who should attend this course?
Uh, this course has really been designed for the residential appraiser. Um, Now, what we will do, we'll go over a lot of different techniques and a lot of different methods for getting an adjustment. But I have had commercial appraisers who've taken the course, and I've had several commercial appraisers come up to me after class, and they'll specifically say, I didn't expect to really learn anything here today because I knew it was for residential appraisers, but there's several things that I picked up that I'll be able to use in my practice. And so, the techniques they apply to both residential and commercial, and so commercial appraisers, they do have that opportunity to pick up some information here as well.
Love that. So all residential people, commercial people get something out of it too. That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about the course? Don't give away the good stuff because we want people to actually register, but can you give us a little bit of a preview?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I will start off and just say that when it comes to education, I'm a firm believer that application-based education is the best way to go. You know, theory-based education is extremely important. I'm not discounting that by any stretch, but with the application-based, I really want appraisers to walk out of every class that I teach and have something that they can use the very next day when they're working on their assignments. And the supporting adjustments class is one of those classes where you really have the opportunity to do that. And so with the class, I spend probably the first, I'd say the first hour, hour and a half, and what we're doing is we're doing the scare tactic. We're gonna scare you into the reasons why you need to be developing and supporting your adjustments. And so we will talk about the secondary market and what they require. We talk about state licensure boards, how they feel about the adjustments, and then we'll spend quite a bit of time kind of going through USPAP as well, and what you need to do in order to comply with USPAP. We then spend the rest of the day really kind of illustrating very simple ways that you can use an Excel spreadsheet to do matched pairs, group data analysis, regression analysis, depreciated cost analysis. We also spend quite a bit of time talking about sensitivity analysis, and then we'll talk about the reconciliation of adjustments, and then one of the things that appraisers have told me in the past is their really their favorite part, or the thing that they took away the most from this class, is we will talk about the goal of adjustments. And what we will do in that portion of the class is we'll really kind of illustrate how you can use Excel to to really kind of get your adjustments to the point where they're reasonable and acceptable. And one of the things that we have always done with this class is I have a spreadsheet that we send out to everybody. And on that spreadsheet, it's going to have different tabs, one of which will be that goal for getting the adjustments. We'll then also have group data analysis, depreciated cost analysis, and I've set that spreadsheet up. And I say this with her permission, but this spreadsheet is mom proof,
Goody.
right? Not every appraiser knows what I say when or what to do when I say go to cell A1, right? And so Excel can be a four-letter word to a lot of appraisers. I've protected the spreadsheet so that you can't really delete the formulas, and anybody with some basic Excel knowledge can open it up and figure it out how to do that. But most appraisers, just leave it as is, and you're not going to have to worry about it. That the spreadsheet is good to go. And so, yeah, the class kind of goes over a lot of those different aspects, and we do give a lot of different examples. We show how things can be done using that spreadsheet. um, I also have a master spreadsheet that I use, and I will bring that spreadsheet up in class. I don't hand out that spreadsheet because the last appraiser I trained on it, it took me 6 months before I felt comfortable with him using it, and so it does take a lot of time to learn how to use that spreadsheet. But I will show illustrations and examples of what you can do in order to get your adjustments and kind of the capabilities of what Excel has for us when we're trying to develop and support them.
So you've simplified Excel a little bit for a residential user who doesn't have Excel expertise. So in your opinion, they don't need to come in here with a basic background of Excel at all.
None at all, none at all. What I will do, and throughout the class, I will show that spreadsheet and how the appraiser can use it in their everyday practice. Something else that I've done is I just have a Word doc that illustrates the formulas for example, for depreciated cost. And so if you don't want to use Excel, you don't have to. You're going to have a Word doc showing you the formulas on how you can do it. Hey, pull out the HP 12C and go for it. I prefer Excel, and so Excel gives me a template. I don't have to recreate the formula every time, and so I just think it's more efficient, and it is a reasonable way of getting it done.
I love it. So the course is going to be held at the Comfort Suite Inn in Johnson's Creek. It's next Friday, May 24th from 8:30 to 4:30. I want to go back a step when you talked about the scare tactics. I recently had a chance to sit with representatives from Fannie, Freddie, and from the state of Wisconsin board. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not supporting your adjustments in some way, somehow, please take this course, take any course, but we need to get this done. Are you hearing similarly, kind of this movement toward really needing support adjustments in your work file or directly in your report?
Absolutely. I've been hearing some rumors along the same lines there, Dustin, and I don't want that to be a scary thing. I want people to realize this stuff is really very easy to do, especially if you have the Excel template set up ready to go for you. Um, I really believe in the KISS principle, and I do want it to be very simple. I don't want appraisers to have to worry about, looking at statistical data in order to try and figure out an adjustment. Hey, a lot of appraisers, were never trained in statistics. I wasn't trained in statistics. I took one semester in college, and that was it. I did get an A minus, but uh, but no, it was only one semester, and so I don't have a tremendous amount of experience in statistics either, and I personally think that a lot of appraisers they start looking at some of the statistical data and it's completely over their head, and then they completely just kind of shut down at that point. And I don't want that. I want people to, we need to be able to easily support our adjustments. That is really what separates us from other professionals within the real estate profession. I have brokers and agents ask me all the time, well, how do I get an adjustment for this or that? And I can tell them how to do so. And Dustin, I'm sure you've had some reconsideration of values or appraisal challenges. How often do they come back with adjusted sale prices on their so-called comps? You know,
100%.
and yeah, yeah, that's what really that's a big thing that really separates from others within the real estate profession. And so we really need to be able to do that, do it well. be able to support and a reasonable adjustment amount.
Yeah, I think it was probably 10 or 15 years ago. I was at a convention in Vegas and I was listening to a representative from Fannie Mae. This was back when they started scraping the UAD data and they started gathering it all up. And they were mentioning like, hey, you guys, you're adjusting $20 a square foot in Beverly Hills and you're adjusting $20 a square foot in Midwestern Wisconsin. Like that can't be right on every single report. Like you got to do a better job figuring out these adjustments and supporting these adjustments. So I'm very excited about the idea that you simplified it a little bit and given us some tools. And I understand we take away a tool from the course as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have that spreadsheet for you. Also have that Word doc in case, if you're one of the appraisers that considers Excel to be a four-letter word. Got the formulas written down for you, so it's not a problem.
All right, I'll give you a chance for any kind of last thoughts on the course, and then we'll close this up.
Yeah, in terms of this course, I think I developed it back in 2017. So I've been teaching this now for about 7 years, and the only thing I would say here is that it's been a well received course. We get a lot of positive feedback on this one, especially with that goal of adjusting. I get a lot of appraisers saying this is a great tool. I use this on every assignment now. I've had very few bad comments on this, and I will tell you that the probably the worst comment I ever got was actually, or I'm sorry, the worst review I ever got was kind of a compliment because the appraiser specifically stated, uh, everything that you've taught here is really good, but I have zero desire to even open Excel, so I will, this is kind of worthless for me. But at least they're pointing out, hey, look, the theories are still there and everything, and so yeah, even the bad comments tend to be pretty good on this one.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for your time this morning, Jason. As always, my Opiners evaluation: seek knowledge, bring positivity, innovate, and most importantly, uphold the public trust. We'll talk to everybody soon.
All right. Thank you, Dustin.